Welcome to the session, guys. In this session, we are going to see it in a rack, how we are going to add a node or delete a node kind of scenarios. So to add a node, it's kind of bit lengthy process, but deletion of the node, it is very quicker compared to the addition of the node. Then why we need to add this node addition and why we need to delete. Suppose as of now, we are having two node cluster. We are having racks node 1 and racks node 2. So our business is running fine initially with these two nodes. But after some time in the future, my business users has been increased. My business load has been increased. So these two are not supporting properly. One small query is also getting delayed due to the huge load on these servers. Okay. Even though we are having two instances, we are unable to make the performance improvement. So client has been decided and they want one more node to this cluster. So as of now, we are using rack node 1 and rack node 2. We are accessing the database, two nodes. Database will be the same, but load is high and then we are unable to get the performance, keep on escalations on performance. We are unable to get the query output. So mean within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, earlier it is 1 minute output. So 1 minute job, it is taking 2 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes due to the memory and server capabilities. So what client is requiring now, add one more node. This node we need to provide the access to access this database. Database will be the same. If node addition, node deletion will be the new server we are going to configure. So we are having racks node 1, racks node 2 as of now. Now we are going to do racks node 3. This one we are going to add it. So if you want to add directly, that is not possible, right? We are having grid infrastructure is there, Oracle database software, Oracle instance. Software installation and instance both are same, but we need these things. And the database is not required. Oracle DB is not required. Anyhow, the database is there, but we need to provide the access to the third node. So first we need to grid infrastructure related. If you want to install the grid infrastructure, what kind of file system we required? ASM file system. So ASM file system we required. So for grid infrastructure, ASM is the storage purpose. We need to configure this thing. And Oracle instance, to access the Oracle database, we required Oracle Home software and we need to create an instance. That's it. So we will do one by one. So both activities. So for node 3, we need to prepare it, right? First, we need to get the server request with the same capabilities. So node 1 and node 2, we are having how much? 10 GB RAM, 2 processors, and also around 100 gig of storage. We are having two disk groups. One is 20 gig, another one is 80 gig. Two disks. So these two disks, we need to add it to node 3 also. These two are shareable disks, right? If you added these two shareable disks, then only we can able to access the ASM thing. ASM binaries we need to install on this instance. These things are the basic things. And then once the storage team provided the new server, node 3, suppose in our example, this one, node 3, they provisioned. Now what we need to do? We need to start configuring of your ASM libraries first, then grid infrastructure. Third one is Oracle Home software. Fourth one, configuring the Oracle instance and access the database using third node. To communicate this node 1 and node 2, node 2 and node 3, node 1 and node 3, node 1 to node 3, in between communication, we need to enable the passwordless connectivity, right? We did for these two nodes passwordless connectivity. First, we need to get the server, create the directories, required Oracle Home and Grid Home directories. Let me write it. Let me write it. See here, first, we need one new server that we treat it as node 3. Here we name it as RACS 3 is our new server. Okay. This new server should have whatever the capabilities of node 1 and node 2. 8 GB, 10 GB RAM, Okay, 10 GB RAM or SGA memory, 100 gig storage, two processes, okay, two shared groups for ASM. These are all the requirements. These requirements we will get it from the storage team and Unix team. That's it. Our job starts from here. Once we got the server, we need to install, or else we need to create grid home, Oracle home paths. These two required, right? As it is, we need to install the grid infrastructure and these things. And we need to install ASM libraries. This one, grid infrastructure. Grid infrastructure we need to install. Then Oracle home or Oracle instance configuration. That's it. These steps we need to do. Then node 3 will be added properly. So to add a node to existing cluster and the existing database, we can do in two methods. One is add node. We can do two ways, silent and GUI mode. Either any one of that mode you can use it. I'll show you GUI mode. It's very easy. And the silent mode, I'll explain you the process. So anything is fine, but compared to the silent mode, GUI is okay. Some environment they doesn't allow the GUI mode, then they will go for silent mode. Either way, it's fine. This is the requirement. So let us control Z. Let us go and then where I have written these things. Let me go here. Yes. Let me save this. I want to share with you also, right? Add node lab session. Okay. Done. Now for node edition, quickly, as I said, we need to configure the node 3. So if you want to configure the node 3, we require public IP, private IP, PUBLIC, public, private, and VIP. Scan IP is for everything. Like it's same three scan IPs we already have. Those are not required. Only these three required for our node 3. These three things we need to add into node 3 and node 1, node 2 also. Let me quickly show you. Clear. Cat etc host. As of now, we are having two nodes, right? Two public IPs. We are going to add one more, right? We can add one public IP extra, one private IP extra, one virtual IP extra. This scan we are not going to change. Three scan IPs for any, if you are going to add a node, delete a node, that's where the functionality of scan, that is the use case of the scan. If you want to add a node, delete a node, you don't need to change anything on the scan part. Only you need to add, if you want to go ahead and add an IPs, public IP, private IP, virtual IP. If you want to remove the public IP, private IP, virtual IP. Don't touch anything on the scan. That is the beauty in the scan, 11G release 2 feature. So let me add scan IP. Sorry, public IP. So here copy paste. What is this? Where is your cursor? There only you can do. Insert, copy, paste, remove 2, make it 3. Public IP of your node 3, 73. Then give a space here. Even if I want to do it, I let me add it here and then I'll make it copy paste remaining things. So private IP3 we are going to add it. Okay. For inter-node communication. Public for outside, if you want to connect to those servers, do your job to connect these nodes, public IP is required. And virtual IP, if any node failures, it will detect and fail over your node to existing, availability nodes. That is the use case of your virtual IP. So we need these three IPs. And scan IP, we are not going to do anything. This one, we are going to create a new node edition. So these three IPs are required. Save it. Cat. So copy paste all these things. Okay. And add it to node 2 also. Let me connect it to node 2 root. 72 root user. Connect it. And then add these things. No need to modify anything. Already we have. Just copy paste it. Time being. vi/etc host. Okay. 3, 12, 15, 20. Add it. So I have added the public IP, private IP, virtual IP. This is normal. These are all our existing IPs. So connect to node 3 also. There also we need to add etc host. Add etc host. Node 3, right? For node 3, I'm going to connect it. Root. First time I'm connecting. Why? Because just now I have added the got the server. Okay. vi/etc host. Here I have already added public IP, insert, private IP, virtual IP, scan IP. See here 73 added, 10.3 for private IP, node 3, 83 for node 3 VIP. Scan is saved. That's it. Now, on this node, ps-f5 I don't see anything. Let me go to Oracle. We need to set the environment. If I have any bash profiles, I'll check and then remove it. I don't have anything. Okay. Cat etc for our tab. Here we are having entries of for a tab. Want to remove these things or else make a comment. Why? Because I cloned this node 3 to node 3 from node 2. That's where it is going to show it. So what I want to do is I want to remove whatever the files inside of this node, grid home related, remove -rf, everything I'm going to remove it. I don't want anything. I should not have any grid home software on my node 3. Similarly, I should not have any database software on my node 3. Why? Because I'm going to delete it everything. LTR. It is better. You guys can do it fresh node. For time being, I'm doing this thing. Okay. For INST location. etc inventory, I'm going to use this. It is fine. For database inventory. Okay. As of now, I don't have any database related files. I have removed all those things from. Generally, it is not required. Okay. I have cloned the node 2. That's why I am going to take it that. Otherwise, I no need to delete anything. Now we are going to configuring from the step 1 for node 3. Node 3, we don't have any software of the grid related things and database related things. I have deleted everything. And ASM related, let me check it whether we can able to see those things or not. Switch to grid user. Okay. Oracle ASM. Let me check ASM related things. I don't see it. Let me connect with grid only. List disks. These two I can able to see it. So why? Because we already installed the libraries, right? Oracle ASM, we need these things. If you want to configure, it is not there. If it is a minute, it should show the configuration. And we need to enable the passwordless connectivity. Okay, we'll go with one by one, no problem. Done. So first we have built the node 3. We have added the IPs. That is done, right? Node 3, we got it. And we added the IPs, public, private, virtual IPs. Then we have these directories, grid home directory and Oracle home directories we are having. That's it. Now we need to add the IPs in resolve.config related forward zone and reverse zone. Reverse zone. There we need to add our IPs, newly added IPs, right? 73 that we did not add it, right? So go ahead and add those IPs where node from node 3. Okay, from node 3. Here we need to add this thing on all the nodes. Even if you want to add a node 1, there also it is fine. Insert, make it. So RAC 3, 73. For private IP, we need to add it, right? And then VIP, we need to add it. One by one, we can add. Same thing we need to add for VIP also. If you want to remove the node, we need to remove it, whatever the things existing. That's it. Here you can mention in case you want to make it. This one is fine. Generally, this is fine if you are going to add it anything. Okay, let me quickly add it, no problem. Manually, we need to add forward zone and reverse zone. Reverse zone, this one. What is this? Okay, vi slash that named this one. Going to insert, delete a node 3. I'm going to add it on node 3. Generally, these things is fine. Scan is there, that we don't need to modify anything. That's it. Only this thing is fine. 73 RAC 3. Here we can mention 73 RAC 3, 73. That's it. Same thing on node 2 and node 1 we need to do. Why? Because this NS lookup, if you want to use the DNS thing, right? If that needs to be work, we need to do that. Otherwise, we will not do these things. For other node, we can quickly add it. 73 RAC 3. 10.3 node 3. For VIP, 83 RAC 3. escape and save. Same thing on node 1 we can do. Insert, add it. So first we can add public IP for node 3. So we have added node 1 also. Then node 2 and node 3. This one we need to do. We need to add RACs node 3 only. Here we need to add it. Three. Node 1 also we can modify it. Three. After this, we need to enable the passwordless connectivity. Done. And yeah, we need to restart the service. System start name dot service. One node is fine. Any one of node. Otherwise, you can do all those nodes. That is also fine. One node is fine. Name dot service. We have restarted. And what I need to do is passwordless connectivity. We need to enable it. Establish the password. This has been changed. Okay. Now we did this as well. Now what I need to do, we can check the groups. We have Oracle user group and grid user group. We already have on node 3. Check if you don't have, we need to create it. I have Oracle user and grid also I need. So I have Oracle user is there, grid user is there on node 3, but I don't have any softwares. Grid or database softwares that we can do it. So node 3, we need to configure the ASM. This is already there. I can able to see the scan. If we can do the list disks from node 1, I can see these two disks. Node 2, I can see these two. Even in the node 3, I can see these two. If it is not showing, we need to configure the ASM libraries. That part also done. Now we are going to enable the passwordless connectivity. This I need to make it different way. Okay. From there, I need to use that. Here I can mention that step. Here I can show you passwordless connectivity. After finishing of the ASM thing, enable the passwordless connectivity between all the nodes. So use the Oracle user. Earlier we did RACs node 1, RACs node 2. Now I have added the 3, right? Better we can enable the passwordless connectivity between all the 3 nodes. If we can give RACs 3, that is fine. Let me give it to this as well. Even from node 3 you can try, or node 1 from you can try. SSH user setup from the grid software location or Oracle home software location we used to have. Yes. Grid software location U02 app grid base. No. $19 grid home. Here we should have this SSH user setup script. LSFNLTR. Under bin add node we have grid setup. Okay. Okay, no problem. Let me check this SSH. Oracle home deinstall location. Here we used to have SSH script. This we need to run it from here. It will enable the passwordless connectivity between 71, 72, and 73. 3 nodes. RAX1 is read it, RAX2 is read it, RAX3 is going to read it. For this, I think it will ask a password. Let's see. Yeah, I think the password is not prompted. That is fine. From Oracle user, grid user, I want to set up. What is this? Oh, did I use only 2 nodes? No, right? For this, I need to add 3 nodes. Only 2 nodes that's already there. 3 nodes we need to give. Passwordless connectivity in between node 1, node 2, node 3. And RAX node 3 for root user also, I'm going to enable the passwordless connectivity. Let it be. It is asking root password. Root password. Okay, done. So what will happen, right? Suppose from node 1, the node 3, I want to SSH RAX1 node without providing the password. Did I establish the connection? Yes. This is called passwordless connectivity. Why? Because whatever the software it is there into your grid home and Oracle home, that needs to be copied to here. And if any node is failed, the existing connections, it should forward to another node. So without prompting any password, we need to enable the passwordless connectivity. We saw this one as part of our installation thing. Now I have tested from node 3, I can able to switch to node 1, and node 3 I want to connect to node 2. I can able to connect it from node 3 to node 2. I connected without the password. I just SSH. That's it. Now passwordless connectivity we have enabled successfully. And verify the grid thing. Cluster verify the grid thing from the node 1. You can execute this command node 1 grid home bin location cluster verify component. What it is going to do, it is going to compare the node 1, node 2, node 3 related configurations. Okay, grid home bin location cluster verify. One second. Cloud file. It is there, but we did not set the environment right. That's where it is not going through. Okay, what I can do is let me connect it to grid user. etc host. Here also we can set it up. That's not an issue. es-f drive grep smon dot /inv plus asm1. Then go to Oracle home, means grid home, bin location. Now I can execute the same thing. You must not be logged to root user. You have to connect to grid user and execute this step. It is saying the same thing, right? Let it be. 71 grid user. Oracle home bin. Let me execute this command. From the grid user, we need to execute it. This here I can mention connected to grid user and set the env run the below checks. That is fine. Once this is done, then we need to do the prerequisite check. If that is also done, there we used to get some kind of errors. If we are getting those errors, we need to look into it. If anything which we need to take, we can take it. Otherwise, we can proceed further. Let me make it differentiate, right? Green is node 1. Okay. Red is node 2. Blue is node 3, which we are going to add it. Node 1, this is also green. Node 1 root user I connected, node 1 grid user I connected. Blue is node 3, red is node 2. So we are not going to do much on node 2, only in between node 1. Even if you want to use node 1 only to configure all those things, you can do in between these two, or node 1 and node 3, we can do vice versa, anything. So no need to run all these steps on all the nodes. Only any one of that node, node 1 and node 2, you can pick it and then execute it. Meanwhile, what I can do to run that from node to grid. There also we can run it. That is not an issue. First, I need to check SSH RAC 3. Yes, I have. Then dot var. Let me check the grid one. Yeah, grid and database both are running on node as well, or accessible on the let's say SM2. Oracle home means grid home, bin location. I can run another command. This one we can see. This is original prerequisite thing. Like before we are going to install the cluster, we are using cluster verify tool to check the any prerequisites is missing, any RPM is missing, any other things are missing. This will give us. So either this node or this node, both you can parallelly run the pre-checks. That is okay. This is also node 2, red color. Parallelly, I am doing this node reference related things. Also, I'm doing this thing as well. Let it run and then we can see it. Do you have any questions till now?
No.
So these are all the prerequisites which is going on. If anything, any errors or other things, we can see it. If something which we can avoid or if something which we need to run the fix up, mostly we may not get anything, but yeah, let's see. NTP related things will come, DNS related things, we can avoid those things. Those are not that much of important. Okay, done. As I said, only what a prerequisite node addition was unsuccessful. Check did not pass the following nodes. Node 2 and node 3 checks are not followed. Failures were encountered during the execution of CV stage pre-addition node. NTP failed. This daemon due to this one. Okay, chronomy of this external node 2. This is we can avoid it, guys. These things node 2 and node 3, node 2 and node 3, we have this NTP related issue. That is okay. NTP we can avoid it. That is not an issue. Apart from that, do we have anything which is required? I don't think so. So everything is fine. Space is fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, that's it. Only NTP we can ignore this. NTP, chronomy, daemon, this we can ignore it. No problem. What about this thing? It is not completing. Let me cancel it. Okay. We'll wait for a minute. Yeah, any questions?
No.
Okay, great. After finishing of these things, right? Even this is like a kind of pre-checks. Okay, if it is taking time, that's okay. I already run this pre-check, right? We are having only chronomy or NTP related things. This we can avoid it. No issues. Okay, now if I want to run it, let it be. It is initiated, let it complete, and then we can proceed further. This will check the basic things, connectivity between node 1, 2, 3, in between those things, basic things. Prerequisite we already executed. Okay. Yeah. Verification peer compatibility was successfully done. So I don't think so. We don't have any issues. Only prerequisite thing, which we are seeing something NTP and chronomy daemon. That's okay. We can avoid these things. Leave it. Now, what I can do. These two steps also completed. If any fix-up is given, we need to run that fix-up. I don't see anything. And we can do this. Ignore check node 1. Then we can use node edition 1. That we can use it from grid.setup thing, right? Using that also we can do that, or else add node .sh script by using this is silent mode. If you want to add, we can do this one GUI mode. Grid.setup we can use, and then we can add a node. Okay, either this one is for GUI and add node command is for command line. We can use grid.setup for GUI mode. Now we can use this. Let me execute grid.setup from goes one step back. Here we should have grid.setup ls grid.setup. This one we can execute it from node 1. Okay, any one of that node. This will GUI mode. Okay, let it finish. Here we are going to add more nodes. If you are going to install that, you can use this option. If you are going to upgrade, you can use this. We are not going to upgrade, we are going to add a node, right? Use add more nodes to the cluster option. Okay, click on next. Can do this thing. Let me take snaps and then we can proceed. Okay. RAC. Do all the pre-checks, then turn below from node 1 or node 2. Any one of that node, you can do that. cd grid home, we can run this command. It will give us this. So take a print. Yes. Then proceed further. Click next. Let it load and then we can go proceed further things. So which node we are going to add it, right? Let it read. We can add our things. Grid.setup. After you clicked on that, we need to click on add. Okay, if you want to add a new node, we should have those information, right? So let me take our node information, node 3, that etc host. So node 3, right? We are going to add it. Take this. Public and virtual IP, we need to add it. for public and click on add button. So here we need to add public host name, this one, and here you need to add virtual host name, VIP, virtual host name. This is the one. That's it. And add range nodes that we don't need to mention anything, how many things and all. You can leave that part. So RAC3 is our public host name, RAC3 our virtual IP. Let me take a print screen. Click on add node 3 public and VIP virtual IPs, VIP hosts like this. Click OK. Okay, we have these things, right? So take this. Then if you want to test cluster configuration file, you can do that. And it is going to use the cluster configuration file and it is going to do, test it everything, whatever the cluster file which you are going to do it. But leave it part and SSH connectivity if you want to check. If you are unable to, if you are not enable the passwordless connectivity, it will fail out. So click on next. It is going through check the SSH connectivity also. Now it is going to check the SSH connectivity and then it is proceed further. See, check the Oracle homes, validating the duplicates, SSH connectivity, testing the passwordless things. Okay, let it test it and then we can proceed further things. rack3.localdomain.com is assigned to another one. Oops. VIP, right? We need to give virtual IP. Okay, let me take this snap. Here we need to cross check before going to do anything. Let it be virtual IP, VIP. Then take this, click next. It will check the prerequisites. Understand. As I said, I have cloned the node 2 to this one, right? The cluster related information, even though I have removed those cluster related binaries existing on that node. Okay, let me check once. Let me check that. So whenever we are going to proceed with this racks things, we need to be on a fresh server. Don't clone, or even though if you are cloning also, that is fine. Why? Because operating system install and other things, those could be the dependencies. Preference of the Oracle cluster in the following nodes. Presence of the cluster where? I don't think so. Let me. Okay, what I can say. Init 6. Node 3, I'm going to reboot it. Let it start. Node 3. Once it is restarted, we will initiate it. The same thing. If you want to go back, we can go back one step back also. That is fine. rax3.localdomain.com, rax3-vip.localdomain. That's okay. Whenever you are going with a fresh server, we may not seeing this. Whenever we are going to, what I can say, install these things on existing server, we have to be clearly uninstall everything, then only we can add the nodes. Let it restart. Yeah, it is done. Let me go back one step. We come to this thing, add this thing. Okay, meanwhile, let me connect it to node 3. Cat etc host. This is my public RAC 3 node 1. Let me add it. Here it is not going through, right? -VIP. Virtual IP RAC 3 -VIP local domain.com. That's okay. Inventory also have removed, but let me check it again. SSH connectivity, those are fine. Detected the presence of Oracle cluster where. Okay, let me check this. Let us retry. That Oracle will hold all the cluster related information, cluster related log files. So even though we have removed our Oracle home and grid home related things, but still OS level, the cluster related information stored under etc Oracle location. That's where it is not allowing us to proceed further. Now it is proceeding. So even though whenever you are getting such kind of errors, right, check the error message, what exactly it is showing. You can check from support.oracle.com or any one of the Google site. We will get most of the issues fix-ups. For better understanding what exactly we are going to do it, why it is going, what kind of error we are facing, we need to understand that. In which scenario it is going to fail out. Due to that, it is not proceeding further. We need to identify the blocker which is going to block the installation or anything, any kind of activity. That one you can check in the Google or social media or in support.oracle.com. That is the best benefit in our Oracle database. We have n number of social media platforms, n number of Oracle groups where we will get the support. Instead of support we already have from the Oracle site. Apart from that, we will get more support compared to the Oracle. We have n number of outside groups, blogs. We can go through it. Okay. NTP and these things, synchronomy, these things we can avoid it. We don't need to think about these things. Let it be. Ignore those things. Ignore. Then proceed further. Click on next. It will prompt you yes or no. You can give yes. So it is the final step. If you want to save the response file, you can save it. And for future silent mode installation, that is fine. Now what is going on this grid home, we are going to add RAC 3 host. You can submit. Click on submit. That will take time. RAC DB. So what is going to do? It is going to copy the remote files. Node 1 to node 3 files is copying. Once the copy is done, then it is going to prepare that instance on cluster level. If you want, we can check it on node 3. Okay, U02 19 dot. Copy portion is going on. These I have removed, right, completely just before. Now it is going to copy it from node 1 to here. Similarly, when you're going to configure the database software on node 3, we are not going to unzip anything on node 3. We are doing from node 1, whatever the software is there. See here, the same thing, that we don't have anything database software. After grid, we are going to do this one. The software will copy from node 1 to node 3. Similarly, our grid 1 is copying now. Let it complete. Once the copy portion is completed, preparation will be there, configuration. Node edition is going on. Oracle add node configuration is going on. Let me pause it here. Once it is completed, we will proceed. Okay, whatever the scripts it is going to provide, those we need to run it from the node 3. Two scripts it will give you. Vara inst root.sh and root.sh. Those we need to run from node 3 under root user. Yes. Root.sh. Vara inventory found. That's where we are not getting that script. Otherwise, we used to get two scripts. See here, Vara tab is there, no? It is see Vara tab. If it is not there, if I can remove that one, then only I'll get that script. This is already there, then I have not received that. Let it be. Run the root.sh script. Whatever it is going to show you, we have to run according to that. See, on node 3, we need to run. It is already said, like on which node we need to run, everything it is going to inform us. And also connected to root user on node 3. Run it. After finishing this root.sh script, come on here, press OK button. Run root.sh from node 3 and the root user. Let me copy script. Connected to node 3. I have pasted, enter it. That is fine. This root.sh will prepare the cluster configuration on node 3. Blue one, from where I have executed on the RAC script, node 3. That Vara inventory will take care of Vara inst root.sh. It will give the permission to inventory. We already given 777 permission to that inventory. That is not going to touch. This root.sh will execute 19 steps. Same when you have configured the cluster, right? 2-node cluster. At that time also, we have executed this grid.setup from one node. Another node, it is configured automatically. But we have executed root.sh script on both the nodes. Node 1 first and then node 2. Similarly, we need to do on this thing also. The grid.setup we have executed from the node 1. And it has been provided the root.sh script. That script we need to run it from the node 3 under root user. We don't need to run that root.sh script on node 1 and node 2 again, because that already we have executed. Cluster software, binaries, everything is linked over there. Let it complete. It will take another 1 or 2 minutes. Let me pause it. So step 19 is going to existing. Successfully archived OCR keys. Creating OCR key. So 19 step also there. Once that is done, we are successfully completing that. Once that part is completed, we can like proceed further also. We need to see the successfully install the software on node 3. Can take a duplicate session also. We can able to see ASM3 should run on. Yes, it is. ASM3 is running. Post config execution steps. Done. So we have successfully, when the script is done, take a snap of this and click OK. Here, the installer has detected the Oracle cluster is not running on the following nodes. Ignore if that's okay. It's already completed, successfully completed. Okay. Node has been installed successfully. That is okay. This is important. The script should be 19C. Now we can see Vara tab entries. Cat etc Vara tab. Okay, Vara tab. We don't have these things, right? Let me edit etc Vara tab. Vara tab entries. Remove this as of now. Make it ASM3. That's it. That instance, database instance, we can do it later. etc Vara tab. ASM3. This location, my grid has been installed. See all these grid softwares. Now, if you want to see the status of the grid thing, CRSCTL stat resource -t stat resource -t. We can able to see the status of the node 3 related things. Node 3 VIP is there. Node 1 and node 2 is showing offline. That's okay. We can check that as well. Why? Because most of them is showing offline. Only node 3 is online. Okay. Cluster things. Let me check in. Yeah. You can click cut here. Successfully executed. We have listener is running on node 3. This service, why? Because database also it is not like we haven't configured those things completely, right? So let me check, proceed with the database part also, and remaining things is offline that we need to check as well. Because we have what we did is we have added the IPs and we did not bounce these nodes as well. Okay, ps-ef pipe grep. If I can do completely once a small complete bounce of the servers, node 1, node 2, node 3, and then if we can configure the database, it will do it that as well. Let me quickly bounce it in init 6. Init 6. Init 6. All the 3 nodes. Why? Because the services it is showing the database status things offline. Only RAC's VIP is going to online. Okay, let it be. All services needs to come up. Let the services come up. Only some of the services running on node 3. Node 1 and node 2 ASM things also offline. This is online thing. Online listener. Let it restart. All the nodes restart is completed. Node 1, node 2, node 3. Yeah. For node 3, I need to leave the path. Remaining things, it will take time, right? Cluster startup, everything remaining things. It is going to take a time. D.bin. Yeah, the service is going up. It will take time. We'll wait couple of minutes and then we can see. You need to give some time to start up the cluster services also. ASM came up. Node 2 ASM came up. Node 3, let me check. It is still coming. Once these things come up, we need to add a like database portion here. Let me show it. This portion is completed. We have added the Aura tab as well. Now we need to check the cluster status and then we can use add node to do the Oracle home configuration on RACS node 3. From RACS node 1, we can run this add node command. Our Oracle database instance software will be there, right? From node 1 to node 3, software will be copied and it will be configured. Then we need to add that instance to our database. We can use srvctl command to add a node, or else you can use dbca command to add a node. Now, by using add node.sh command, it's a silent mode. Either you can use this or you can use GUI prompt. Only those two steps is pending. Once that is done, we are good to good to close this node addition things. Let us check. Taking time. Some database also came up on node 2. We have restarted the node 2 first, right? It is going to start first. Yeah, node 1, RAC and database both are came up. We'll wait for a couple of minutes for node 3. ASM, only ASM needs to be started from there. Meanwhile, if I can go to Oracle cd $u01 app Oracle product 19c databases, add node. From here, we need to initiate the add node script on node 1. This we need to do that. We'll do once it is came up and then we can see it. Yes, yes. Here also our ASM instance came up on node 3. Database we are yet to configure. U01 app product Oracle 19. Here we don't have any database software, right? As of now, node 3 we don't have any database software. If I can use this add node option from node 1, unable to run this. This add node is belonging to our Oracle thing, right? Where is 71 Oracle user? Let me connect it. 192.168 0.71 Oracle. Let me set the green color. Dot Vara. Let me check the environment first. Dot Vara env x1. Go to Oracle home. Add node. Run add node.sh. And then we will get this GUI prompt. Node 3 is not showing. We need to add the node 3. Okay, node 1, node 2, by default it is already there. It is not going through. Pick it up. And node name, node 3. Print screen. Grid infra. node 3. Attach. So, stop. So node 3, we need to add it. Sorry. RAC 3. That's not the node 3. It's a RAC 3. RAC 3. Then click on next. What is the host name of node 3 one? That we need to give. See here, RAC 3. Okay, this is our server. RACS3. That we need to give and click on next. Let it verify the summaries and other things. From node 1 Oracle user, we have executed the script. Once we gone through that summary, and then we can proceed further. Specified for add node are not part of the clusterware yet. Ensure that the configuration scripts from the grid infrastructure home are executed after the database add is performed. Let me take this one. Why we are getting that error? Let me check. This node 2 is not showing it here. That's part of the status. That's where our database is not able to configure further. NS lookup. Let me check this NS lookup. NS lookup node 3. It is showing now. Now node 3 is not showing. We need to add that. Let me check node 3 things. U0 have 19 dot grid home. Here only. So both are differently it is running. Actually, node 3 is running individually and node 1 and 2 is running individually. How come it is not part of node 1? That is the issue. So RAC 3 service is running individually on the node 3. It needs to be configured with this thing. Do I need to execute this script to add that one? I think so. Run installer OUI. I'm going to see those status. And see 3 node services, then why can't I see? Okay, no problem. Let me use this, then I can able to get the info. Let me try now. Why? Because the node 3 is running individually, the cluster services. If the cluster service is part of this, then only the node will be added. Let the prerequisites run. Again, if you are getting any issues, we can see it. Earlier, only the what I feel is NS lookup is not working. I have restarted the services for that and then I'm trying. I have not done anything. Even we can use that as well, the failed things, that's okay, CRS things. Take it, this snapshot, paste it. Ignore everything, then click next. That's okay. Let us check. If it is not going through, we can see it later. So I'm going to add this one, the installer. It should run on this one and host name is RAC3. Adding this node. Take the print of this and let it add it. Click submit. It should copy the binaries from node 1 to node 2. Let me check the binaries are copying to node 1 to node 3 or not. Here we don't have earlier. Now it is working. Let's see. These many files it is copied. Now it is copying. NS lookup should be there and the cluster softwares are running individually. That is one thing which I observed. Let's see what it is going to do. This root.script will, it might able to fix up our things. Let's see. This node should be shown. Yeah, it is going through copy. We did that. Only it is showing node 1 and 2. It should define node 2 and 3 it is showing. Here it is showing node 1 and 2, but here it is showing node 2 and 3. Let me check this on node 2. From node 2, U0 to app 19.0 grid pin location 1 and 2. Let it be. Root.sh we need to run it from node. This thing root.sh we need to run it from RAC3 node. Into this one, paste it. Connected to node 3, execute, done. Then come here, click OK. Database has been configured with node 3, but we have certain kind of step which is node 3 conflicts. That's okay. So we have completed the add node option also. Okay, the add node option also. Still, let me check. F5 is small. Database needs to be configured. Software is completed. Software install and software things has been configured properly. Now what I want to do is node 3 I have added manually. Actually that should be shown as part of that node. Let me from node 1 DBCA. We need to add that instance to the cluster one. By using DBCA, we are going to add the cluster one. Node 3 instance, we need to build it. Create, configure, delete database, manage. This one we need to select. Cluster management. Add node 3 instance to cluster. From node 1, we need to run that. Next, add instance. We need to check add instance option. Click next. Need to select this one, enter the username and password for that. Sys user and password, sys. From 2, 3 this thing. Take the print of this. And click next. This is our database, instance location manager, this one. Now we are going to add it, instance 3. Here we have 2 nodes, right? We are going to configure RAC 3. Here we need to select the node actually. It is not, it should show the node name. Why it is not going to show it? That we need, that's where we are services running on the both different nodes, right? That is the issue actually. What I can do is even this one we can able to use it. Here we should have the node, otherwise we cannot able to add it. The active node is not presenting from this node. If I can proceed further, node is not there. Node name or instance operation is not there. Okay, let me cancel this. Node is not defining that node, we are unable to get it. Even if I can run it from node 2, I think I can able to, but here also node 2 is not running. Add a node, that is fine. Okay guys, I couldn't able to find out the node. Let me fix out this. In our next session I can proceed with to identify the node where exactly we faced that error for adding this node, right? As of now the service is running individually. OLS nodes. See here, it should show the racks node 1, 2 and 3. 3 is not going to, not showing it here. I need to check this and then we can proceed further. Okay, as of now, node has been, the cluster service is running on the node 3 also, but it is not part of this cluster. We can say node eviction kind of one, or the split brain syndrome scenario will be there, right? That is the situation where it happens. This node running, node 1 and 2 running separately, node 3 is running separately as of now. So I need to fix that issue. We'll connect tomorrow and then we'll see that. Okay. Any doubts?
No.
Okay, great. We'll connect tomorrow and then we can proceed further things. Thank you.
Thank you.